If you caught my direct message last week, you heard me explain why we shouldn't let politics make us crazy, yet the crazy seems to be ramping up everywhere you look these days. This constant onslaught of political bickering has an incredibly polarizing effect on most people. The fighting either makes them obsessively tune into politics nonstop or reflexively tune out of politics altogether. With so much news and commentary content out there, if you give me an hour or two of your week to hear about political science, philosophy, religion, or anything else we're discussing here, I consider the time you spend with me to be a pretty high honor. Those of you who follow me on social media outside of YouTube probably saw that I spent last week on a farm with family and friends outside of Seattle. Though I spent most of the week hanging out with 20 chickens and one duck who thinks she's a chicken, I had a couple personal experiences with actual real-life human beings which reminded me why these aren't just abstract ideas that we talk about here. One of the people on the farm with us was a trans woman in her 20s who happened to grow up on a pot farm. She was also an avid hunter and a guns rights enthusiast who was painting her gun locker bright blue and pink at the time of our visit. Yes, trans women are sometimes into guns, but if you judge people as a collective instead of as an individual, this is exactly the type of person who will always go ignored. I also spent some time with a farmer who lived almost 100% off his own land, but he was very concerned with treating other people fairly and making sure that others had the same opportunity to succeed which he had. While his day-to-day life had a very libertarian bent to it because he provided for himself and was living off the land, there was no doubt that he wanted there to be assistance for people so that they could one day share in the same opportunity and pride in work that he himself had attained. His live and let live attitude was blended with his desire to do good for others in his community. He was a far cry from what some would say about those selfish libertarians or what others might say about those authoritarian lefties. While I was away, I also had a truly awe-inspiring hike up Mount Rainier, which is part of the U.S. National Park Service. This park is an incredible example of a natural wonder that we have right here in this country, which happens to be funded and protected by the federal government. You guys all know that I'm a small government guy and I'd always prefer local and state funding, but a place like Mount Rainier, which is so gorgeous and so powerful, I believe, should have some federal funding. And I'd say the same, by the way, for a place like Yellowstone National Park or Yosemite. The question here is how much funding or the best way to pay for this funding. That's really what the debate is about. By the way, Mount Rainier is also funded by state and local organizations, and I met many great people along the trail who are volunteering their time and energy to a place they love so much. That right there is called putting your beliefs into action, not just demanding that the government pay for something with other people's money, which is often what we talk about. My point here is that people are complex, issues are complex, and finding answers which will satisfy everyone almost always is absolutely impossible. At the same time, not only do we all have our own strengths and passions, but we all also have our own inconsistencies and blind spots. Our goal shouldn't be about purity tests so that people fall in line or adhere to some false notion of perfection. Our goal should be the acknowledgement of differences so we stand up for the freedom and for the liberty that this country was founded upon.